Hello, everybody.
All right, Ms. Burnett, we're going to start off with you. You have two cases. But before we start out, Ms. Burnett, you have some traffic matters in which you failed to appear in court for. As a result of your failure to appear, warrants for your arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside these arrest warrants, give you a personal bond in these misdemeanor matters that carries a maximum penalty of up to 90 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. And then you say can and will be against you. You have the right to an attorney. Can afford an attorney, one will appoint on your behalf. The ticket is P1323876. Driving an unregistered motor vehicle, no insurance misdemeanor. Pretrial, July 11th, 9 a.m. in front of Judge Tanisha Yancey. Now to your two other main cases. Case number 200-598-9301, People State of Michigan versus Portia Burnett, and case number 240-450-8701, People State of Michigan versus Portia Barnett. Appearances, please.
Good morning, Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Ms. Coyle. Good morning, Your Honor. Christina Harris, P52857 on behalf of Portia Burnett. Stands me, waits a formal reading of a complaint. And Ms. Burnett has been advised of and understands her statutory and constitutional rights.
All right, the court will enter not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Burnett. I have a capious bond, $1,000, 10% set yesterday.
Yes.
Judge Bryant.
25.
I'm reading it 6/25/25.
24/25.
Okay. And hold on. Are both cases capiouses?
Yes.
I didn't hear that last word. Both cases.
Yeah, okay. Either June 24, 25, one for review, one for pretrial, $1,000, 10% capious bond for both set by Judge Bryant. Ms. Harris, why should I not continue both of these capious bonds?
Ms. Burnett did not have a certification, but she did get on the bus. She got on the wrong bus and she was late to court. And so, and then she was picked up by the police. So she's saying that wasn't necessarily her fault because she was trying to get to the court. She got on the wrong bus.
Did she get to court?
So she got on the wrong bus and she was late to court. So
how late?
Can I say?
Go ahead, ma'am.
I kept calling and I was speaking to someone that was in Mrs. Bryant's courtroom. It was a guy there, but I kept calling to keep in touch with him. But I was on the wrong bus, and by the time I got down there, I ended up on 7 Mile and Myers, somewhere down there. But then that's when I got picked up. But I had spoke to her her assistant, and I tried my best to keep in touch with them because the person that was going to bring me had no license and no driver's license, and I didn't want to risk getting in the car, and the car didn't have no tags or anything. So I tried to get on the bus myself, and this is how I had got picked up by the tether people.
What
so
bus
I
did
tried
you
my
catch,
best
man?
to get down here. I did.
Hold on, Ms. Burnett. What bus did you catch?
I was on the 6 Mile bus, and then I ended up, somebody told me I had to make it to the 7 Mile bus. But when I got to the 7 Mile bus, I don't know, I was supposed to make it to Woodward somewhere, but I never made it to Woodward because I went from 6 Mile and then I had made it to the 7 Mile. I stay on 7 Mile in Southfield, but I was located on Birdwood.
Okay, hold up, slow down. What bus did you initially catch?
6 Mile.
And at what?
Birdwood.
So you couldn't catch the 6 Mile bus to Woodward, get a transfer, and come downtown?
I didn't know that's where I had, because I don't have a telephone. So I just try. So
how'd you call? Well, you didn't have a telephone. How'd you call the clerk? How'd you call Judge Bryant's courtroom?
When I called before I left the house. I have a phone at the house. And then when I made it to Birdwood, I used someone's over there. And then that's when they had told me I got to get to 7 Mile. So they just kind of guided me from there. But I used the phone twice and I called up there. So I called before I left home and I called when I made it to Birdwood and 6 Mile.
Reagan, you have something you want to add?
Yeah, I didn't hear.
What's this mean? You good? It's all good?
Sir, if I like to go ahead.
Hold on. JCF Hearings, what is your name, sir? Sir, just logged in. What is your name?
Nowacki.
Oh, no, not you, sir.
What?
Nowacki.
Okay.
I apologize, Judge. Did you ask me a question?
Correction, Your Honor.
No, I thought either you or Ms. Harris was about to log make a statement for Ms. Burnett.
I was.
Either one of you go for it.
Okay, that she stated she has some confusion, so it seems that she was making an effort to get to court. Everybody is not savvy about which buses to take and in which direction to go if you don't know how to get downtown. So Your Honor, we're asking you to reinstate the personal bonds for Ms. Burnett, and she gives her, Ms. Burnett, you do give your assurance that you will come to court for your next court hearing. Thank you.
Sure. I've been keeping.
Judge Williams, hold on. We got a lot of moving parts here. Judge Williams, once I finish with this case, we're gonna do Shamika Norfolk, the felony Cape bonds. So just give me about a couple minutes.
Hey, take your time.
Okay. All right, Mrs. Coyle, your response.
Yes, I'd like to be heard on both of these cases because on the first case, which I talk about the unlawful custody or the lawful custody, the ending in 87, Your Honor, there were 3 failures to appear. This is from February of 25. So each time she was given a personal bond, including tethers, she violated, and you gave her, in fact, back on May 1st, 1,000 personal with the tether, and she failed to appear. So she's had 3 failures to appear on that matter. On the case that was back from 2020, she has 6 failures to appear on that matter, which every time she was given a break in that a felony was reduced to a misdemeanor. Then she fails to appear, and on that matter, I think you're the last one too, that gave her another $1,000 personal bond with the tether, and she still fails to appear, Your Honor. So between the 2 cases, she has 9 failures to appear. So there's a point when this is just becoming ridiculous. So I'm asking for on those bonds to remain at 1,010%. Tethers don't seem to work because she's been given a tether. She's been several times and she fails to still report. So based on that, Your Honor, I'm asking, this is 9 failures to appear within 2 cases within a short period of time. These cases, the one in the 24 case just started in February and she's had 3 on that alone. So I think there's a point when it just becomes redundant and that she decides when she decides to come to court. She only comes to court, it appears, when the police pick her up or she gets picked up on something else. So nothing further to say.
Excuse me, sir. I've been dealing.
Hold on, Ms. Burnett.
Sorry.
You've spoken with your attorney. They're going to advise you not to state anything, but it is your right to question. But they're going to advise you. They're very, very good attorneys. Go ahead.
Okay, Ms. Burnett, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be held against you. You are on a recorded Zoom. The prosecutor is here, and I don't want you to say something that can be held against you.
Okay.
Hey, now, do you still want to speak?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Burnett. I'm just trying to protect you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Burnett, I can applaud your good faith effort to catch the bus. However, that's just for one time for this past, either yesterday or 2 days ago. I grew up catching the bus. One of the first things I learned how to do as a teenager was to catch the bus downtown. It can be complicated, but it is fairly straightforward, particularly if you come from Northwest Detroit. You catch the bus to Woodward, get a transfer. The Woodward buses are one of the major thoroughfare. They run every 10 to 15 minutes, and you could have been downtown easily within an hour. Okay? So being confused or whatever, to a certain extent, I can buy that, but to a certain extent, I don't. And I think it's just another excuse given the 9 times between these 2 cases that you have failed to appear. So I am going to continue the capious bond set by Judge Bryant in both of these matters. And you'll have a bond determination hearing on Monday, June 30th for both of these. Pretrial for both of these cases would be July 8th for review and or pretrial in front of Judge Bryant. Ms. Burnett, do you have any questions regarding your court dates and or bond conditions?
That 1,000 cash,
1,010%.
1,010%. Thank you on both cases.
Both cases.
Thank you.
So,
Okay?
yes.
All right. All right. Have a good day, ma'am.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.